Um, um, in this age of this awakening and everything, for right, and about returning to our ancestors and to our heritage and everything. If each of you could speak for a brief moment about manhood as it relates to, as it should be, as opposed to what we see today. We see a lot of underachieving. We see a lot of abuse power going on, things of that nature. So you both could speak of your opinions on the topic. Fade to the black on this. Yeah. Okay. Can't hear you, Elder.
Are you still there? Okay. Oh no, I thought we lost you for a second. No. I'm good. I thought we lost you.
Oh
Your
yeah,
screen went blank.
yeah. Your screen went
I just
blank.
thought we lost
I'm here. I'm gonna let y'all talk.
Uh,
you. No, that's
It's my
lost.
elders, I'm the young, and I don't really, I'm gonna let you guys talk and speak on the issues. I know you guys have a
um,
lot of concerns
it's
about
only
literacy.
it's only customary, right, that I have to say like anytime that I do live or anything like that or whatever, and I'm gonna say just giving all praise and glory and honor, you know what I'm saying, to the God of our forefathers Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, you know what I'm saying, and I greet y'all, you know what I'm saying, in the highest of honor that be given to man, and I say shalom aleichem.
Hey,
So
shalom aleichem, elder. Likewise to you, and likewise honors to our ancestors.
I'm
Likewise.
like, I'm like,
we we are at a crux in time, right? If anything that we should pay attention to, we should pay attention to our households, especially those of us as men, right?
Correct.
Um, we see everything that's before us. We can go over everything that's happening around us, and every incident that we'll give, we still have to say, well, what is the solution? If we don't prepare for anything, right? What's the point? If we're not, we in a place in time right now that we have access to everything that we need at our disposal. We have everything that we need at our disposal. The biggest issue that I see that Israel at a point is facing is the lack of being able to set differences aside. To
True.
me, in my eye, I don't. It don't matter what your sectism is, right? Everybody still the founding principles of everybody's way is the same. Take care of family, take care of children. You know what I'm saying? Take care. Like I said, having your own, right? Everybody's principles is the same. The difference is in the different how you say lost in translation, right?
Right.
And why does it always take mass death for us to ignore those differences?
Right.
We can set them aside, but we totally ignoring something and setting something aside is totally different. Ignoring setting it aside is intentional versus ignoring you put it in the predicament where you got no choice. You know what I mean? So why does it take that? I don't care what race, color, creed, everything else. That's neither here nor there. When it comes down to at the end of the day, then that don't mean that we have to tolerate. We're not going to tolerate immorality, immodesty, and none of that. It's just understanding that us as a people need to realize that now was the time for alliances and allegiances. Now was the time for you to actually go through your community and say, okay, on the basic foundations on what builds a community, this brother right here is a blacksmith. This brother right here is a farmer. This brother right here is a lumberjack. This brother right here is a forger. All those basic talents that are we have to actually understand. These sisters right here is a help. This family right here is a healing family. These sisters right here are doulas. All these things, all we have everything that we have at our disposal at this crucial time right now. If they shut the power out because we haven't set our differences aside, now we're going to have an issue. We're going to have an issue because without the power, you can't shoot your refrigerator and make it give you food. You can't shoot your house and make it give you electricity. You can't shoot the water. You don't have a reservoir up under your house. Everything is sent to you by electricity, right? So we have to minimize to maximize, and that distance that's between us, we have to truly minimize that. Not saying that we can get rid of it, because we can't. We can't get rid of that distance. At such a quick time, but we can minimize it to the fact that we set our differences aside so that we can move as a whole, as a unit, rather than individual as a family. I don't care. It's like I see brothers, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, shalom. I'm like, assalamu alaikum. I see you got 1,000 guns, but against a small force of 20 people, your 1,000 guns is not going to help you. If you don't know how to feed your family from scratch, because you don't think that, okay, you want to go hunting. Don't you know, in a time of warfare, animals leave. Birds leave. Follow the chain of nature. These things leave. And you're not the only people trying to eat. So that guy that said that he want to live away from the city and have his farm, he's going to have an issue if he can't protect it. If it's just him and his wife and 2 brothers and there's 50 people trying to get food, what do you think is going to happen?
Instant conflict.
Instant conflict. We're not taking that into consideration. We can't give ourselves liquid courage or verbal courage to say that, okay, I'll be okay, and you're not okay. If all 4 of your corners is not settled, if all 4 of your corners is not settled, you're going to have a problem with fringe benefits, right?
Mm.
You're going to have a problem with it.
Very true.
We'll have a problem with it, and it sounds good, but our children suffer. Children suffer for what the parents leave behind, whether they leave something or nothing. Children suffer for it. And as a man who has children myself that are adults, in looking at their generation, they have a serious issue that they're gonna have to deal with. And like my father told me, old people make decisions, young people make war, right?
Correct.
You know, it's like taking these brothers out here. Everybody talk about shooting, but do you teach them when not to shoot? It's not about shooting. Nobody should want to shoot. Why? Because in shooting, you lose people. You don't want to decimate your forces over stupidity. You don't want to be in the middle of a firefight and you fire your bullet to get everybody wiped out when you didn't supposed to. Do you have the patience to lay inside these bushes when your enemy walk by you, knowing that the end result can wipe all y'all out?
Got a point.
Those little tactical expressions that we ignore. You know, we sit on these video games all day, you know what I'm saying? And our people, our younger generation feel like that they have this proudness, right? Because they get on these games, but I'm like, don't you know, on this plateau right here, you don't get no extra men.
Mm. It says there's no extra lives to earn. This is not a video game.
No, it's not a video game.
Right.
You know, so it's like this vaccine thing, right? 90% of the people, if I put a figure to it, or better, say that I'm not getting the vaccine.
Correct.
I can say I'm not getting the vaccine too, or my family.
I've heard him say. I hear him saying it.
But the only reason why I myself am saying I'm not getting the vaccine, because I know how to get my own food. I have my own place for home. I have my. Do you understand what I'm saying? I know how to get the things necessary for medicinal needs. I know how to do those things, so I can say I'm not taking the vaccine. So I tell people that when people say, well, I'm not taking the vaccine, if you don't have your house solidified to where you can do without the system, now you speaking for your children and your grandchildren.
Mm.
And don't say, well, they're going to have to shoot me before I take a vaccine. They will, and your children. because you speaking
Right.
as a man. Men need to understand you're representing your entire house. Yes, true. No one's, how you say, we've all fell short at some time in our life. We didn't come from this place, come out the womb straight. We came out the womb crooked. And all of us, in trying to straighten our lives out, we have went through a plethora of different errors that we have made. I'm not going to sit and say what the elders didn't give us. I'm not going to sit and say what the elders did give us. I'm just going to say flat out that we made errors in our assessments and our perceptions. We have all made those errors because now we at a crux in time to where right now we wouldn't be having this discussion if we was already together. We had set things aside a long time ago.
Correct.
So the solutions are right in front of us. It don't take no rocket scientists to understand being able to provide, protect, and preserve your family. Provide, that's obvious. Providing ain't just shooting. Protecting ain't just shooting. You're shooting guns. You understand what I'm saying? The sanctity of your house. All these provide, protect, preserve applies on a spiritual, mental, and physical platform. It's not just physical. A lot of people say, well, no, the physical don't matter. I know a whole bunch of people in the graveyard that I've seen that did matter to.
Yeah, it didn't matter too. Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You can say the flesh don't matter. If you get knocked off and you leave your family in the middle of nowhere to defend for themselves, what did you do? Because you feel like that the flesh is weak. The flesh is not weak because there's a mind inside the body that governs everything. So to me, to say your flesh is weak is to say that mentally you have an issue. We're not ready as a whole, but we need to get ready, and we're gonna get ready. Not saying that we ain't, not saying that all of us is, but some of us are. We need to get ready because we are gonna get ready. Self accountability is everything. Integrity
Right.
is everything. Integrity is us as a people as a whole. When people go to war, they're not gonna do like they did our forefathers and say, "Hey, could you go get one of them priests so they can come and see is the Most High with us?" We not as a whole. That's not a question that you can ask us. You know what I'm saying? It's not right now. But we can
Correct.
get back to that state though if we understand the necessities of what self accountability means as an individual and as a collective. We say we Israel, but it ain't. You can't be Israel if you ain't overcame nothing and you ain't bruised your hip.
Mm, that's true.
Bruising your hip make you walk different. Overcoming that,
Sure does.
over overcoming that frequency that they call angel within you means you master yourself. No, you champion that power. I don't look at that term El as God because there's no Hebrew or Afro-Asiatic word that equate to the term God other than Shemesh, because the word
Right.
God actually comes from their terms and it means son. So in Hebrew we say Shemesh. I mean, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying?
It is. Right. The power. Hmm.
Yes, that's we don't see that because we have been what Malcolm say bamboozled,
Mm,
and we keep giving our power. My father said the biggest mistake that we made was when we created God in our image.
mm,
That's the biggest mistake that we made. That's the biggest mistake that the Adamic family made when they started creating God in their image. I use that word
mm.
very loosely. I don't like using that term, but for understanding, so I don't
I
like using
understand.
that term because I know what it means.
Right. For the sake of
That's
the
how. That's
conversation, we
come a lot of
understand.
times. Yes, I always say the source. I don't even like saying the Most High because in saying the Most High it leaves a blank there like most low. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to take anything. I don't want to take any kind of leverage or anything away from the Creator at all.
Mm,
I'm not fit for that. I'm not fit to do
right.
that. I don't think
Right.
nobody is. You know what I'm
I
saying?
agree. I normally
I'm
try to
being
use
honest.
the word creator, elder, for the same reason.
Yes, yes.
The
I don't like.
creator or
Listen,
the
I don't like
power.
saying facts because it's like a
Mm,
depreciation of value, right?
mm,
We say he quiet because we man. We women say she. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to say he or she. I don't want to divide anything. I would rather just say the source of existence, source of life. I mean, if we use that Hebrew word with the tetragrammaton, it means that which causes existence. If we use the
right.
shortened form word, it just means to exist.
To exist.
So if I say well, I believe in the source, and you say you believe in that which causes existence, and he say believe in that which causes all life, where we going wrong at?
We're on the same page.
We got beef.
We're on the same page.
It's yes, we are. You know what I'm saying? It is a saddening thing, right? Because we can't see it. But that goes back to the beginning of the conversation when I said that the information shouldn't have been just easily given. You don't go from the first grade to the 12th grade without a test.
Right, right,
You don't go from the first grade to every grade comes with a test. Every
right,
grade.
eh, right.
You go through
And
your first
what you said
you go
was
through your element. Okay, go ahead.
what you said was so profound when you shared that with us. That and people look at me crazy when I say it, but one of our problems is easy access to critical information by those who need not know it. That what you said was so
Facts.
profound.
Undisciplined.
I've said right. I've
Undisciplined.
said the
Yes.
same thing. I just worded it differently, but I said the exact same thing. One of our problems is we have easy access to critical information by those who need not know it. Or as we used to say in the military, it's above their pay grade, but they know it.
It's above
And
their
you will
pay
see
grade,
our
but they know
people
it, right?
take, yes, yes, you will see our people take that information and destroy themselves and others around them. Right. They're not
Yep.
qualified to have some of the information that
No.
they have easy access to.
And that goes back to the point to where you say their quantity of intelligence
Yes.
is not manifested in their quality of life.
Yes. I agree.
That the two ain't the same. That's how you
Right.
know when you we don't say I don't care about race, color, creed. I'm looking at your behavior. You to look at mine too.
Mm.
If everybody, regardless of the principles that's laid down, when you look at the behavior of a person, right? I come from a place that we used to take folks' fringes, right? For stuff, right? We like, bro, look, you know what I'm saying? What don't happen, you know what I'm saying? Let us get them fringes, bro.
Right.
You can't
You
walk
can't
around
wear them anymore.
because the integrity of the Ummah is at stake. While we in this confined together, you're gonna have to do something different. You can earn them back, but I'm just saying you're not gonna walk around here because you're gonna damage the integrity of the Ummah, right?
Mm.
We don't value integrity. We don't value self accountability. You know, it's like a brother called me at night, a sister called saying that he done jumped on me, and I'm like, who? She like, my husband. I had three problems. Two problems is because they're in their 70s.
In their
That's one problem.
70s?
In their 70s, right?
Mm.
So when I go to pick her up, this is a few years ago. When I go to pick her up, right, I was angry and everything else, right? I didn't grow up with a mother, so regardless of the fact this is a woman, right? But I seen how he had done jumped on her and how her face was swollen up and everything. But the community, right, that I was dealing with at the time, they settled for him just giving an apology speech. I wanted to whoop him, right? I feel like he deserved the mopper for that. I'm
Yeah.
just being 100. I mean, put the gloves on him. We're gonna put him in there for 6 minutes and 13 seconds. Then you understand what I'm saying, or something,
I like the 13 seconds part.
something, something. Something should have happened. You know what I'm saying? And it's like I've been amongst a lot of communities, and I'm like, man, we need help from the top to the bottom. I remember 6 years ago, you couldn't have no Israelites walking around here with skinny jeans on. You couldn't have these sisters walking around with their head wrapped with a cat suit on. Now that has changed.
Mm.
A community can only evolve how the leadership allows it to.
Speak to
We
that
allow we allow
because
minutes.
uh, speak to that whole mindset of leadership because Scripture speaks a lot about the, um, the pastors that lead sheep astray and about the false prophets and all of that. You know,
We in the day. We in
Speak
a
to
day
that
right now where
because
the sheep
two,
don't have to worry about the wolf no more.
Mm,
The shepherd is eating them himself.
mm.
The shepherd is eating them. It's like the same way when I like. It's like the same way when I deal with brothers. It's like saying, I feel like that if you're gonna give counsel to a sister as a man, first of all, in our ancient communities, you weren't allowed to lead if you wasn't married.
Right.
There's something about a balance that has to be in the household. You judge a man by his balance, by the way he carries his household. If you can't lead your household, how you gonna lead a nation?
Correct. A man is incomplete that's not married yet.
Yes.
Right. That's
And so
correct.
that puts us in a different position to where, like I said, the community can only thrive as much the leadership allows. And a whole when the community moves as one, there's a power move that's there, right? Everybody's drawing on the same essence. Everybody's drawing on the same frequency of life. You have no choice but to prosper, right?
Okay.
Negativity don't bother you until you no longer look like it. Think about what I said. Negativity don't bother you till you no longer look like it. Other than that, it's your friend.
Mm. Yeah.
So
It's our friend the way we live
oftentimes we
now.
blind ourselves. Yes, because we compromise. We compromise entirely too much in all aspects. We compromise with ourselves and with those around us. We compromise. I'm not me as a man. I carry myself because that's like I know that these brothers right here is gonna ride for me, right? If anything happens, I have to carry myself in a position because these men got families too. I'm not gonna go out here haphazardly doing things that's gonna cause them to be away from their family too. You get what I'm saying?
Mm.
We don't look at that as a whole. We only looking at it as an individual, and really as a whole, we can be.
Mm. Right.
Moray, Moray, speak to the practical application of Torah as the unit of men that your elders implemented and that you don't see being implemented as a whole in Joshua today. The problem with it.
The, this finna sound kind of awkward, right?
Yes.
This finna sound kind of awkward. When we say Torah, right? When we say Torah, what we mean? Torah means what instructions, right?
Instructions.
Everybody got that same. Okay, what
Right.
instructions are? What instructions are there? What instructions? What are the instructions? Are we talking about the laws that govern life, or are we talking about the governing principles that govern the society? Which when we say inside the scriptures, right? The narrative
Right.
interwoven within them is different practical applications of those instructions. I'm not gonna say
Correct.
the whole book is the instructions. I'm gonna say
It's not.
interwoven in the book is different practical applications.
The
Yes, it's different
instructions.
practical applications. Those instructions. Yes.
Come on with it.
Now the problem that I have, right, is people keep saying, "Well, this is God's law," or "This is God's law," versus "This is man's law." Man's law, I have you. You look at the Ten Commandments. The first commandment is have no other power beside me. Let's just set that aside right there, right? Because every other thing after that is governing principles. Under thy father, under thy mother, all those is community based. When you actually look at the wording of it, every last are governing principles. Man says that if I jump off this cliff, I'm gonna have a elemental redistribution problem
Right. Right.
immediately. I don't like that term.
Right.
That it's too vague. You know what I'm saying? But so man creates a law and say don't go to the cliff at all, and then he just say God said it. Do you get what I'm saying? And without giving
All
that
right, all right.
understanding, our children come generations later and skateboard off the cliff because he don't feel like he's violating God. But any violation of the source that gives you life, there's a permanent situation you got to deal with. If you stick your hand in fire, it's gonna burn you. Gravity. If you violate that, it's gonna hurt you. The how you say pressure. When I say pressure,
Mm,
when this gun is fired at you, there's a pressure. There's pressure that's involved in that, right? Of two
correct.
substances, right, coming toward each other. There's a collision that's there. If if you don't have something that can interfere with that, like a vest or something in between y'all, that's gonna be an elemental redistribution behind it.
Mm,
Now we will always say that it all depends because the Most High got to sign out. The Creator got to sign off on it. I don't care what it is. I don't care how you look at it. You ain't finna take the suit off and let the Creator sign off on it. Period.
correct.
So when we say Torah, right? What instructions are we talking about? Because everybody, regardless, we're talking Torah like for the last couple of decades, and the environment is falling around us. So when we say Torah, what instructions are we talking about?
Mm,
Even
Government.
inside the book of Urim Yahoo, when he said your Sabbaths, your Sabbaths, your Sabbaths, your rituals, your holy days, none of that mean nothing if you ain't doing my duty. So for that
correct.
to actually be there, right? What duty is it? We're so focused on the physical things, like like okay, the Sabbath. We can actually have thousands of different dates, right? But to me, your intentions is what matters the most. We've all been misled. Can nobody say that they're
Mm,
100% accurate? Unless you can, it's like having a discussion with a brother. It's like saying, well, they told you that Methuselah lived 996 years. Well, based upon the chronological order from nation to nation, going back almost 2,600 years, that's not true. What do you mean? Because in that actuality, if you base on linguistics and etymological origin, he was only 83. Now we got a problem.
mm,
So, not that it's not true. It's that why would it be put there? Why would it be put there? What is the significance of that number that means so much that people are not paying attention? They just, oh, he just lived that long. No, the numbers are in the scrolls for intentional.
mm.
So, like I said, when we say Torah, what instructions are we talking about that's going to actually prolong longevity?
Okay. Uh, Shalene.
Because, mm-hmm.
Maury Shalene.
Kane.
Okay,
What is your interpretation
okay.
of practical application of Torah?
Hey,
To a certain extent.
what the elder was sharing with us is right on the money. Right on the money. As we
Absolutely.
say it, as we say that Nation Builders, we don't eat swine. So if I may lamb back, we don't piggyback because we don't eat swine. If I may lamb back on the blessing that the elder shared with us, he hit it right on the money. When we look at Torah, um, too often you will see in our community, when you look at those blessed instructions from the Creator, too often you will see where instead of us exalting the source of the instructions, we exalt the instructions themselves. Um, I know many of people, their religion is
Kang.
worshiping Torah. They don't follow and obey. They don't put it
Yes,
to action.
the
They
books have
just
become
worship
the
the
books have become
Torah,
the
the books. Yeah,
they
the books. That
they worship the
they
books.
devote
Yes,
their entire life to simply studying the book. But like the elder said, when you look at their life does not
yes.
reflect the study of the book. So you're wondering, what is the point? What? And you'll hear them boast. Yeah, I've been studying for 30 years. And they invite you to their house for dinner, and their house is in disarray,
Yes,
is dysfunctional. And you thinking that was a waste of 30 years.
Kang.
That's the same as a man saying, I went to college and I got my bachelor's degree in biology and pre-med and anatomy. I got my bachelor's degree. My major was biology and my minor was anatomy. Then I went to pre-med and then I went to medical school and then I worked as an intern at a hospital. And my goal was to become a surgeon. Because I wanted to heal the people in the community. I wanted to become a surgeon, and I wanted to do the surgeon. I wanted to perform these surgeries at an affordable price because they weren't available in our community. So he spends all his time getting educated, 12, 15 years getting educated. And then he leaves the hospital where he did the internship and he goes and becomes a street sweeper in the community. And you asking him, brother, did you finish medical school? Yeah, brother, I finished. I got my certificate. I'm
Yes.
certified, everything. I'm finished. Okay, brother, when you gonna perform the surgery? The people need help. We need your skills. Well, see, I'm right now. I'm sweeping the streets. What you mean right now? We understand street sweeping is important.
Kane.
The rubbish has to be removed. We understand that. But when we look at the amount of time, effort that you invested, we need you to do something else. You're being a wasted resource right now. Right. We got so many of our brothers that study Torah,
Yes.
study the
Yes.
instructions, but fail to carry them out. What is the point? What is the point?
Speak up, speak about it.
Yes.
No, and then they get the holier than thou.
Like I say, it's not
Um,
if it
go
yes.
ahead. Say again, Elder.
We call it it's like a psychosis, right? Because a lot
Right.
of times the community, right? Especially the sisters, right? Everybody gets so what's that word? Beguiled, right? By the good words. Everybody gets so beguiled that they overlook the errors there. Everything that we're talking, the community itself overlooks that, like, oh well, we all make mistakes, rather than understanding that they are being affected by it too, because nobody is
Right.
holding anybody to a standard that's set even inside the Torah, with self accountability
Hey,
being at the top, self discipline being at the top.
I've been
Even though we,
feeling,
we we've all violated that. Go ahead.
I've been feeling like
What you
maybe
saying?
I'm wrong for being so. Can you hear me?
Yes. Yes. We can hear you.
Yes.
Okay. I've been wondering if I've been so wrong for being so cut and narrow, like, you know what I'm saying? Because coming from the Christian church, I've seen where it's a lot of ceremonial type stuff. They do all the praise and the worship and all the heavy praying and the heavy studying. But I'm like, you still deceived. What has your praying and your studying,
Okay.
and your loud singing gotten you if you still celebrating Christmas, still keeping Thanksgiving, you still, you know what I'm saying? Like it's supposed to be evidence there. So then I come into the truth and I see the same types of things. I see the heavy
Yes.
praise, the heavy study, the heavy worship, and I'm like, you don't pay all the bills in your household. You don't, you still hitting on your wife. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm still seeing like disorder. Still seeing the disorder, and it's like you wrong to speak on it. You wrong to come against what's accepted. So I'm like, I don't feed into these groups and these, you know, a lot of these assemblies and
Yes.
congregations
You
because
get rid of what the truth is an
I'm
enemy.
like, go ahead, go ahead.
Go ahead, Elder, please.
Truth is an enemy, right? Self accountability is an enemy, right? Anytime any one of those things, you're gonna be ostracized. Like, how dare he? You're gonna be criticized. Like, who are you to sit and check me? Or people say, but only God can judge me. Maybe only means to base an opinion on something. So I don't know how far to turn. You know what I'm saying? But Set apart don't mean going and live like the Buddhists. Set apart means that you can walk among. When we look inside the scrolls of our forefathers, that's how they don't do what they. It was in the middle of those people, but they still held their integrity on what they stood for as being standard bearers on what morality was, standard bearer on what modesty was, understanding the life, being healed to humanity. How you say, custodians of humanity.
Right.
When you look at a custodian from that perspective, any institution that has custodians feels it when the custodians don't come to work. So if we're losing and we look at society, then that means that this society has crumbled because as a whole, our people ain't did our job. How much can you blame the people for killing you versus the people who can stop them from killing you and do nothing? Can I get upset at a pedophile for hurting a child, but I'm turning around? What I'm teaching my child is it's spiritually misleading them. Both of them is worse. So that goes back to such a degree that you get ostracized. I've seen it. So what are there inside there that's guaranteeing us a peaceful community, peaceful household, peaceful way of life amongst all this chaos that's surrounding us? Just like
Did we lose the elder for a minute? His data might have fell off a little bit. Can the rest of you hear the elder?
can you hear me? Yeah,
Yes, I can
I
now.
try to plug my phone. I might in my car, so it's Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now.
So what instruct is like saying know thyself. You can hear me?
Hey, yeah. We can hear you now. I want to introduce real quick. I want to introduce Mick, y'all. Am I saying that right? Mick, y'all. All. How you doing, brother?
Yeah. Mick, y'all all.
Mick, y'all. Yeah, he came out to the Hebron men's gathering and came out to Tabernacles out to the Salt community.
Right. Did we lose him? Did we lose him, Brandon? I saw him earlier.
He got the mic muted.
Yeah, mine cut off like that too.
Right. Yeah, we lost the elder for a minute. There he is. He's back.
Can't hear you.
He's probably still muted. We can see him, but I can't hear him.
He got some army time in too. He's a veteran in the armed forces and everything.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. Can't hear you now.
Slow. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Shalom, brother. We can hear you.
We hear Serene. That's Serene.
Yeah, I can hear him just now.
Mick, y'all's on mute. That was Serene that we heard.
Oh, okay. I understand. I understand what you're saying now. Yeah, his mic is muted. I see the X on his mic.
Mick, y'all.
If you can hear us, brother, open your mic. Your mic is muted. Or text it to him in the chat. There he is.
Night and day. Shut up. So, He'll come back in.
Okay.
I had him in this time. Y'all can continue. Uh, I'm sorry to interrupt y'all. I know, the youth is supposed to speak few words in the presence of the wise men, so
What about now? Can you got me?
Yes, yes.
perfect.
Okay. All right. Had to refresh everything because before y'all was saying that my mic was X'd out, it wasn't, so I had to refresh everything. So pleasure to be with y'all. I'm here when I can. Some people are, the microphone is not as good, probably because I'm on the phone versus being on a laptop. But from what I can hear, it's the Jules.
Anything to add?
My lights is dim generator. Got to kick back on.
Anything to add to the conversation, Mikal? You want to bring out any points, anything, or that's the
No,
elder's opinion?
no, right now I'm just taking it all in, and uh, I think of what my dad used to tell me, where he used to say, better for people to think that you're an idiot than for you to open your mouth and move on down. So I'm just gonna sit
I think the
back
scripture
and
said that.
with these jewels.
Right, my dad said the same thing.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, elders, continue with y'all conversation. Don't be
Hey,
quiet
hey,
too. Then.
I love that headset, Mr. Truck Driver.
Hey,
I think I got.
I'm gonna come your way when they start telling me I gotta take this vaccine.
Hey, y'all better come on down. Y'all better come on down. Hey, I was actually on a
I know that's right.
conference call earlier today, ordering some more ammunition, for our covenant, ordering some more ammunition, and some we're also in the market for some
Okay.
tactical shotguns, some shockwave shotguns.
Yeah,
Yeah, we were in the market today for a couple of items.
I know
that's
that's
what's
right.
up.
Man, if y'all was down, I got somebody who work at a warehouse down here, right? And
Oh,
he gets
really?
you whatever the ammo you need. So yeah.
Oh, we need to connect. Elder, I'll make a trip down specifically for that.
Oh yeah.
Right.
I can link you with him. He good. He pro us, so he
Yes, sir.
he actually he
We
actually he actually coming to the camper trip too. He actually comes
yes, sir.
when we go to the woods. He actually comes out there too. So he comes out
Right,
there with
right,
us.
right. We set aside a budget today of $2,500 just for ammunition. We need about we estimate we need about
Oh yeah.
$2,500
Now
worth of ammunition based on the prices we see.
the question that I would ask is, are y'all how much difference do y'all have with ammo? It's like inside my household. Me and both of my wives, all of us have AKs, right? And all of us have
Yes.
all of us have 40s, because that your ammo count on to maximize your ammo count, being able to get ammo from anybody that's with you. You get what I'm saying?
Right. That's the way we do it. That's the way we train, Elder. That's the way we train.
Okay.
I require all of the men in my covenant to have at least one tactical shotgun and 12 gauge, one 9 millimeter sidearm, and at least one AR-15 and 5.56, and for longer range, one AK-47, or anything in 7.62. Some of them actually
Oh
purchase an
yeah.
AR-10 to match that caliber as well, so
Yes.
we can exchange ammunition
Yeah.
inside the covenant, or
Yeah. I
they
got
can
a. I got a. I
draw
got a.
they can draw
I got
ammunition
the
from
AR
our
shotgun
ammunition supply
myself.
store. Yes, sir.
I got the AR. I got the AR shotgun myself.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's a
Um.
wise point. Something
Do you
I
what
spoke on
kind?
at the Goshen.
Do, do y'all get the I only use 1-inch slugs, right? But
Yes,
I
sir.
use dragon breath rounds too, though. I use dragon breath rounds too, though.
We're familiar with
The
the dragon breath. We had a brother did
the
a
the
demonstration with
harm.
the dragon breath at a gun range for us a few months back.
Yes. If you take it all depends on what type you got. Like on a Boss 25 or either a VSP 60, right?
Yes,
Most magazines come with a 5 round magazine, right? But
yes.
you can actually go and get go a different route and get a I use a Panzer. I use a Panzer 10 round for my Boss.
Oh,
You get
okay.
what I'm
So
saying?
it's an aftermarket manufactured by Panzer.
Panzer has an AR shotgun too.
Right. Okay.
You know what I'm saying? But the magazine does fit the Boss 25, the Citadel. You see what I'm saying?
Now I understand what you're saying.
What
Okay.
what happens is with me, every second round is an armor piercing round. Every third round it's a dragon breath round.
Right. Right. In the Army, we call that a cocktail.
Facts.
Right. A
Facts.
cocktail when you mix it. Yes, a cocktail. I love it. You're bringing back some memories.
The
You're bringing
dragon.
back some memories.
It's like even when you're positioning yourself in the community, you might come to the community and you see a whole bunch of like you put old cars. Tactical position is when you putting old cars in different places, right?
Right. Exactly.
And but you can use them for positioning, or you can use them to keep how you say fuel inside of it, fuel cans with shrapnel inside of it. You feel me?
Exactly. Exactly.
Perimeter is everything.
That is true. Perimeter defense. That
Perimeter
is
is
true.
perimeter is everything. You know what I'm saying? And that's a lot of things because to me, white boys really don't like fighting at nighttime.
Right.
They don't. They don't like fighting at nighttime. They gonna come in early in the morning.
And
Yeah.
that's their thing.
Chinese people like coming right at the evening at sunset. If you look,
Uh huh.
if you follow the military history and strategy of a lot of I look at a lot of different documentaries on different races, on their
Right.
mentalities, right? And it gives you an insight on exactly what's in front of you when it comes to strategizing, especially teaching a tactical position to younger people because those video games, like I said, those video games don't get them.
Mm.
The video games don't get them.
Mhm.
Right. Right.
How important, elders, how important is it for the average young man to have some type of militant type of mindset and discipline,
That's the first key right there.
militant type of a
Discipline is the
discipline?
first key word.
Seven words. You can't keep what you can't protect.
Hmm.
Yeah.
That sound familiar, y'all? Sound familiar?
Mhm.
Yeah. Elder, I teach the same. I just worded a little differently, but the same outcome. The same outcome. Right. If you can't defend it,
Gang.
it's not yours.
Nope.
You can't
How you
defend it,
say
it's
you?
not yours.
What they say? You gonna build a house and somebody else gonna come live in it.
That's it. That's it. I say, look, you just storing it for the person that can defend it. If you can't defend it, it's not yours. You're just storing it. And when they come take
Yep.
it, they won't even tell you thank you.
Nope.
And you stored it for them. Yeah. You can't defend it, it's not yours.
Yep.
Right. So yeah, so it is to answer your question, I would say it's critical for young men to have some type of military training and some discipline. It's critical. Especially as the elder stated earlier, when you look at the troubled times in which we find ourselves, it's critical. It's critical. No, the writing's on the wall. We're in the dress rehearsal now for what's coming down the pipeline later. And
Yep.
our people still asleep. They still asleep. You can
Very
go
much
look at our
so.
people on Facebook. Yeah, you go look at our people on Facebook. They still making pretty girl videos. I even see men making pretty man videos. They got a video showing their haircut, their beard trim, with little hearts floating in the air. And I'm like, what are men doing?
Hey, I want to speak to something real quick. I want to speak to what you just said. I look on the internet and I see how people doing a lot of dancing. It's all about dancing. The women twerking, the men dancing with the tight pants and everything. Man, it really sickens me because I'm like, The other nations, they getting ready. They, you know what I'm saying? They are paying to go on training courses, wilderness survival courses, and you know their mindset is war. While our mindset is about dancing and playing around. It sickens me. Speak to that, please.
Yes. Hey, that the elder touched on something on the early conversation before we got on this platform when he spoke about food security. Basically, is what he was stating. Um, and you asked me a question when I was at the Hebron's men's meeting, men's gathering at the Salt community, and even at that community, I believe we should have spent more time discussing these types of subjects. Um, because it was a men's gathering. So we should have spent more time discussing what men ought to do to be true heads of their households and be responsible for their households. Because it was a men's gathering, so we should discuss what men should do, what's required of men at a men's gathering. But anyway, at that gathering, I believe it was you, Brandon. You asked me a question. You asked me what did I think about the organization that did the march on Stone Mountain.
Oh yeah.
I keep forgetting the name of the organization that the brother leads up. They had a
Uh,
misfire incident, I think, in Louisville.
NLPC.
Yes, yes. And you asked me what did I think about that organization, and I just had to be brutally honest. A lot of people don't like it when you're brutally honest. I said, first of all, let me look
Yes.
to the positive. First of all, it takes a lot of discipline and a lot of organization skills to get that many black folk to come together and march in a formation armed. Just to get that many black folk to show up. First of all, that does take some leadership. That does take some organization skills. That does take some discipline. So I commend those brothers on that aspect, for all of them be in uniform, marching in an organized formation. And from my military experience, it looked like they had maybe a battalion. I would say a little, maybe 1,000, a little over 1,000 men. My military experience, looking at a battalion marching in formation, that looked like roughly 1,000 men. If I had to estimate their strength, I would put them at a battalion strength, which is a pretty good military organization. I'll put them at a battalion. A battalion is 4 to 5 rifle companies basically with support. So I will put their strength at a battalion level. Now, saying all that to say this, you asked what did I think of their chances of success, and the question is what is their mission, and if they planning on going offensive in some type of race war, whatever you want to call it, doesn't matter. If they plan on going
Yeah.
offensive, I would say they are planning to fail because looking at it from a military standpoint, for every man that you send to the front line, you got to have 4 to 5 people, 4 to 5 personnel behind the scenes to maintain that man at military readiness on the front. I'm talking about the logistics support. You got to have some truck drivers that's bringing the meals to the front, the ammunition to the front. The people that stack and store the ammunition, the medical team that's taking care of these people, the people that's issuing them the boots and the uniforms, right? The people that's repairing all the equipment that they're using. In order to maintain that man on the front, you need that logistical support behind the scenes, that direct combat support behind the scenes. Who is slotted to even evacuate a wounded man from the front? Who's slotted for that? That's direct combat support. Do you have any personnel that's trained to treat a sucking chest wound? And these are questions most of us don't ask. Do you have any personnel that know how to properly apply a tourniquet? Do you have any personnel that know how to amputate a limb? These are things we got to ask. You hear everybody saying, I'm ready for the war. I'm ready to fight. I got my weapon. I got my ammunition. It's more to it than that. It's more to it than that. Do you have someone that's prepared to dig the grave to bury your dead? Have you even had that damn discussion? And if you have not, shut up and stop talking about you ready for combat.
What you
Do you have someone who is assigned to collect and bury your dead? If these men followed your orders and stood on a line and fired on an enemy and they made the ultimate sacrifice, the least you owe them is the dignity of a decent burial. So have you assigned someone? Is that a conversation you've even had? Who is going to be responsible? Who has the picks and the shovels to physically wrap this body in a blanket or poncho and give them a decent field burial, as they call it? And these are conversations our people don't even think about. Right. It's a waste of time even making a statement you're ready for war if you haven't had these conversations. Who is responsible to feed that many people? 1,000 men show up. Who's responsible to feed them if there is no Burger King, no Kroger's, no Jewel Osco, no Walmart? Who's responsible to feed these men? You know, who's responsible? Who is your quartermaster? Who is your quartermaster to provide these services?
Gang.
Right. Who's your supply NCOs? Who's your supply sergeants? And what inventories do they have? And who's the inspector that checks on those inventories that you, the commander, can turn to and say, what do we have in the inventory before we make this move? No, that structure has to be put in place before you even have the conversation about combat.
Gang, that's the whole thing about. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
That's the whole thing about understanding. Back when I was saying custodian, right? All those positions are custodial positions, direct support, right?
Yes.
And it's like when you look at those shows where you got people building a house, you got all the electricians got yellow on, all the carpenters got brown on, all the painters got red on, and everybody's doing their job, but the painter's not trying to do the electrician work.
No, they're not.
He may be qualified to do it, but his position, everybody playing their position inside your body, right? You got a whole different type of cells and organs, right? Every last one of those on an individual level do their function for the whole.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying? If any one of them didn't do their function, the whole suffers. So that goes back to saying that if you don't have these key things in place, then the whole community is going to suffer behind it.
Correct.
We thinking our people have just been taught, get a gun and that's it. No, it's not. The gun is like the last resort of war.
The last resort. Right.
You lose people with guns.
You do.
You don't want to lose people. You're trying to avoid conflict.
Exactly.
This is where the elders come in and liaisons and setting up meetings with, how you say, this is where the politics come in to try to.
Yes, sir.
I'm about to say that politics. Yeah.
There's no nation that didn't evolve where it didn't evolve from a marriage. You get what I'm saying?
Correct.
And this is the issue that we're not seeing as a whole. So it's like, okay, this is who we are, and we're not studying anything else. You're not ready. You're not ready as a whole. And people say, well, we'll be all right. You won't be all right with it just your family by yourself.
You won't. You're wrong. That's correct. That's so correct.
Of having some kind of a Cold War or like an overt kind of pinpointed kind of a war to even accomplish small tasks, like it's smaller steps to do. Like we need to get land, we need to put people on it and everything. Because it's people going off to all of these communities, but without any real game plan to even hold them, to supply them, to have a network of food and we can go back to picking cotton for ourselves. You know that. We don't even think we don't make our own clothes. We don't make our own anything.
No.
Right.
I told somebody that. I'm like, do you know how to take cotton and make it into yarn? Do you know how to take the flaxseed? Do you know how to take that plant and make linen?
They don't.
When linen comes from a plant, do you know how to stretch this wool out and make it into fabric?
Exactly.
See,
and Elder, if they talk about combat, do you know how to take that cotton and turn it into bandages? Is what they need to be speaking on. Right.
How you say? Do you know how to take this coconut and do a blood transfusion with it?
Exactly. They don't. I bet they don't. Right. These are conversations they need to have. And
And see,
and and
that's what the divide that's there, right? And it's sad that I had to say this, but that divide that's there, we only divided in thought. You understand what I'm saying? We only divided in thought. We think we divided, so we acting on it. How you say we're applying a practical application to being divided, right?
right,
In minimizing that, it's like, listen, this community over here, I know we got our differences or whatever, but listen, we need help, and we need your sisters that's doing the healing to come and teach our sisters how to put this together for healing. We need your brothers that know how to blacksmith. You know what I'm saying? Well, what we do, this is what we do. We can teach y'all. This is a bartering system.
yes,
This is a bartering system. How you say the tribes? You might have all the tribes dwelling in one city, but these tribes hang with their own. As an
true,
individual, as a collective, they still in the same nation. You get what I'm saying?
correct,
It's like all these different states. You got the Tennesseans, the Alabamians. You get what I'm saying?
right,
Everybody got their own ID, state ID, right?
correct,
So, but at the same token, though, they still fall up under the balance as a whole
right.
for the
That's one
country
nation.
itself. One nation, exactly. Our people not seeing that. We should have knew something was up when it stopped being one nation under God, right?
Right, 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 right. And what we do at our little humble group, inside our little humble covenant, inside Nation Builders, we teach our people that offensive is not the mindset we should have.
No.
Offensive is not the mindset we should have. We teach our people that land backing on what the elder said earlier. A firefight should be the last resort. A firefight, we teach our people we want to avoid it. We teach our people that we want to have a display of strength. We want to be well armed, well organized, under organized chain of command. And we want an adversary. This is in a shit hit the fan situation. If we have to flee to one of our hideaway locations. Right. First of all, the isolation of the location. The isolation of the location is one of your main defenses, one of your main lines of defense. First, we don't want them to know where we are first. But if someone was to stumble upon us, we want to be able to show that show of force, that strength. We want to be able to show them we're well armed, we well trained as far as the V formation, whatever formation we fall in, and once the alarm is called, we want them to see we're well armed, we're well trained, we're well prepared, and we want that to be a deterrent first. We want them to say they got some food and some medical supplies, but we better go find an easier target because there is no emergency room. How many casualties will we incur? Even if we outnumber them, how many casualties will we incur if we attempt to take what they possess? Or as I said earlier, if you can't defend it, it's not yours. You're just storing it for someone that's capable. Right. So we teach and that's land backing on what you asked me about the group that marched on Stone Mountain. Yes. Offensive is not the way. Offensive is not the way for our people to survive a society collapse. Right. We need to start thinking defensively. And from a go ahead, Elder.
I felt bad, Slicker. I felt bad when I stayed like 6 minutes from Stone Mountain, right?
Yes, sir.
And on my other side, I stayed like 5 minutes from Yellow River, right? And I counted 13 garbage cans, right, on that street that they was walking on.
Right, right. Did anybody inspect them?
The enemy had the upper ground. They was marking in a formation when they should have been in squads.
Right.
That's what I said. That's exactly what I said.
And what that would have happened is he would have got them slaughtered. Now, that's not the worst part, right? 90% of them came from different cities, different states. That means that everybody's families wasn't together. So there's no community there.
Right.
So they would have ended the revolution right there.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? Now that goes back, since y'all in Missouri, that means that y'all close to the Ozark, right? So in having designated places of refuge, right? With us, you got the Appalachians from Georgia all the way to Maine.
Right, we're closer to the Appalachians in our Kentucky farm, Elder.
So
we on the I-75 corridor in eastern Kentucky, just south of London, Kentucky.
Okay, so y'all close to the Appalachians too, then? So,
yeah, the Appalachians. The Appalachians is a flee away spot of ours, and our Mississippi property. We look at those swamps and lowlands bordering the Mississippi River. We know that area pretty well. We explore and know that area pretty well.
And that's why all those places of how you say trade routes. You understand
Yes.
what I'm saying? Trade and resupply routes. Those things, like you're saying, to me, it's like me telling the brother. I told the brother, I said, listen, in the advent, Most High willing that I leave the country, we should have garrisons in every state. We should have at least 10 men in every state dealing with some trade supply route.
I agree.
You shouldn't have to walk from here to Kentucky trying to carry a 8-day field pack on you. You understand what I'm saying?
I agree.
You can't be. I don't understand. I told her, listen, I got a pill bottle full of water purification tablets. Why?
Yes.
Because it'll be a fool of me to try to carry a whole bunch of water.
Yeah. Water weighs 8 pounds a gallon. Right. You don't want to do it.
No, that gallon get heavy after 1 mile. You know,
very heavy. Very heavy.
So when you actually looking at that, I asked that question: what's inside everything that's inside your pack need to be something that's essential and vital. Everything. And
right.
It's like saying, don't have just like your parachute. You don't let nobody pack your bag for you.
No. Your life depends on it. You better pack it.
Depends on it. And right now, our lives depends on it. We've been trusting a system that has proven to us time and time again that it don't have our best interest. It's like the Charlie Brown trusting Lucy not to move the football.
Exactly. She gonna move it. That's what she does.
But she tells us we're not, and we fall for it every time. The little small, those tactical, that tactical mentality has to be taught to the youth. It has to. Now, what I used to do when I was at the community on the other side of town, what I would do is I fill out a questionnaire, right? Because you can only relate to what you can relate to. And I go over these questions with them. Then I watch a movie, right? I might pick a war movie out, right? And I want them to point out certain things that they see inside there, where the errors was at, right? Like Red Dawn or something. You understand what I'm saying?
That's a very good example. That's when after society has collapsed due to an invasion.
Yeah.
That's a very good one.
They got another one called Tomorrow When the War Began. These movies actually show where it's always the youth that have to actually take the mantle, right?
Right, that's it.
And oddly, in those movies, the parents was ready because when the kids ran to the house, they had guns. The dads had guns in the house.
Right.
The dad told the kids, head to the mountains.
So did.
You know, and that's one of the most powerful movies that people can learn as a young person, actually presenting that questionnaire to them on certain tactical vital things, right? To put his mindset in a place to where, because he hasn't been to war yet, a lot of times we think because we grew up in the street, we've been to war. But war is different when the police ain't coming.
Yeah.
Right. It's a lot different. You know, you say your homeboy gangster, but gangster, he still ran after he did what he did. In war, ain't no running. There's no
right.
running.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like saying you can't afford any mistakes. Every mistake can cost the life of you, your family, your children. You can't have any mistakes. Eat the wrong mushroom is a wrap.
Right. That's true. There's no emergency room to pump your stomach.
Huh?
There's no emergency room to pump your stomach.
None whatsoever. Now, right. Unless you're gonna walk around with pump pills in your bag.
Right.
I had one of the ox turn me on to this right here, right?
Yes, I have that. Peterson's. I have that.
This book is awesome, right?
It is.
So what I did was you can't see it, but I took and I laminated the book, right?
Right. Make it feel ready. Make it feel ready.
And I got a waterproof bag. Because nobody is finna remember this entire book.
Elder, I know how to identify almost every tree in the forest in the
Yeah,
southeast, and I can't memorize that book.
facts. Exactly. You know what I'm
That
saying?
book got too much. It got a wealth of information.
I went through like on the property you got a lot of fennel. Fennel is
Yes,
fennel is like it's the bomb, right?
it is.
Macadamian,
Yep.
peppermint. People grow so much, but I don't know why they don't grow healing herbs.
Some of them don't see the value in it because CVS pharmacy is still open.
I know, right?
Walgreens is still open.
Right? So why wait till calamity hits to how you say to bulletproof yourself?
Right. Right.
We don't wait.
Elder, you sure you don't have a bug on our phone? One of the conversations we had on one of our staff meeting calls was on our Holloway locations, there's certain herbs that we need to go and plant there.
Yes,
And I don't know why we didn't think of this. We planted fruit trees, we planted vines, fruiting vines, but we skipped the herbs because a lot of these herbs will regenerate on their own once you get a colony of it established on the property.
Whenever you plant food, always plant lavender and peppermint by it.
Right.
That keeps the small bugs from eating it up.
Keep the small bugs. It's scent covers, right? Camouflage, scent camouflage.
Facts, but plant enough though, right? Because you got the animals. I've been a vegan like 20 years, right? But if need be for survival,
right,
veganism out the door, right? So
I told him that at the Hebron gathering, right? I said for all my vegan family members, that is the best lifestyle. It is a healthier lifestyle. And even in our house, we eat meat as you see our ancestors did. This is a recent new European concept of eating meat. This is an industrialized concept of eating meat 3-4 times a day. Our ancestors probably would have ate meat once a month. The high moon feast day or something like that. They probably would have ate meat once a month. A man's wife gave birth to a son. He might slaughter a cow and treat the whole village to a feast. Yeah. That a man wife ain't giving birth to a son every day.
It was a ceremony thing. Fact.
It was a ceremony time. You're reading the Torah where guests came to visit and they would slaughter a lamb to have this to treat the guests. That was considered a treat. Yeah, yeah.
My Abba taught me that. My Abba taught me that when that diet came down with Musa, that diet was a test. It wasn't about. It was about those who are gonna eat this. Okay, eat this.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? Because genetically, it's not for you.
Right. Right. Our ancestors kept cattle as a medium of exchange and a measurement of wealth and success, not to eat every day.
They're good to cut the grass too.
Yes, sir. And they produce, and they are fertilizer machines. Our cattle, we blessed to have a Black Angus cow herd. We up to about 100 head right now. They are fertilizer machines. We grow some of the best vegetables because we have cows. Right. They're fertilizer machines because you got to have something to replace the nutrients that your vegetables are removing from the soil. Right. It's a cycle, as the elder said. Right. It's a cycle. Those minerals, the Creator put all the minerals on the earth necessary to sustain life. There's nothing creating more minerals. The minerals are in a cycle.
Yes.
Right. And we have to understand that and use that cycle to our benefit. That was the intention of the cycle. But we got to understand that.
It's crazy, right? Because the basic 12 minerals, right? The basic 12 minerals, right? That the body needs to evolve, right? The basic 12. Every ailment that we go through is because there's a lack of one or more of those minerals.
Those minerals, yes.
And it's odd because those 12 minerals and the 12 systems inside the body, each one of their names is the same function as one of the tribes.
Wow. Wow.
Each one of the systems inside the body is the same as one of the tribe functions. Understand, this is on a physiological level. Everything that we see on the micro, we don't look at it on the macro. You understand what I'm saying? Versus microcosmic and macrocosmic, we don't look at it on those levels. We so busy with biology, we don't look at cellular. When it's on a cellular level that we have the issue that's causing the biological issue. So we're trying to put a Band-Aid on it by just fixing on the biological. Just like we try to put a Band-Aid on, we feel like that, how you say, we can wear the lifestyle, but not live it.
I see it. I see it.
Man,
I see it. You know?
It's a very, very dark time, and trade routes need to be set up. Alliances and allegiances need to be set up. Medical, your basics, your medical, your food and water, your defense, what's going to preserve you. All those things need to be carefully considered. Carefully. Elsewise, our children are going to be sitting around having this same discussion, sitting inside a room with chokers on, right? Wondering where we went wrong.
Excuse me, Akeem. Hey, I'm going to have to break and go eat dinner. It's been a pleasure listening to all y'all getting these jewels, but I'm going to have to bow out right now.
Yeah. Lelato.
All right, Lelato.
Listen, I'm going through the same thing. I smell it in there, right? I smell it in there.
Well, we can keep going. I got about another hour free time. I set aside some time because I felt like the nation would benefit from hearing you two brothers speak and to hear your knowledge. You know I have just from listening to you guys whenever you're available to talk to me. So I just wanted to share the wealth with the people because I know it's a lot of elders being appointed and being chosen, many of which, me personally, I'm different. I got different tastes or whatever. But I just felt like you two brothers needed a voice, not just you, but other elders out there, Nude and just other brothers. I try to put out there because it's like it's this legalism and like a ceremonialism that if you're not a part of that, you're an outcast. But what I want the sheep up under these pastors to realize that there's a whole other world out there than what you're being exposed to. And like you're being taught that's the way. You're being herded to a slaughter. Because it's like you see these groups, you see the fruits of these groups, and it's like it's bigger than just bringing in members and growing numbers. There's a lifestyle connected to this. There's a real mindset of how are you loving the Creator with the whole mind and heart, and how are you treating your neighbor as yourself? You know what I'm saying? Like it's more cool than that. And the whole purpose of the law is to teach you how to do these things. And it's like people are educated, so-called, in Scripture, like you said earlier. They're knowledgeable about the Scripture, but they aren't knowledgeable about how to live it. And I just felt like you two, or two of the brothers, I felt like personified the living it. You said something profound the other day. I tell other people when I talk to them, you said you and your wives mace yourselves like once a month. I'm like, you just said it like it was just average conversation, but it's a preparedness that you guys put yourselves through against one day having to do it. You don't want to be caught off guard.
Right.
And that mindset to have that, this is what the heads of families need to be. We need to have that prepared mindset. And not just be happy with the fact that we've learned who we are. We've started wearing fringes and we've started, attempting to observe feast days because we can't ever keep them how they're intended to be kept until we get back into the land. You know, there's some emphasis placed on all these things that we lose the 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 reason for it all.
Okay.
And I just wanted to give you guys the opportunity to put a different narrative out there. Like this whole mindset about being militant, about being prepared all the way around the board. You don't hear this, but when the shit hits the fan, people don't wish they had this knowledge, wish they had this information. You know, and and our men need to understand that they will never keep Torah until they become the proper head, until they become the, you know, the priest and the king. You know,
Don't become the book, gonna get enslaved by it.
Man.
Right.
So, you know, I just wanted to put that out there. You guys have done a great job. You know, I appreciate it all. Like I said, I got more time, but if you guys have to go, that's fine. We're like an hour and 20 minutes into this thing. We have this again. When you guys are free, if you want, we can do it every Sunday. You know, it's, you know, I schedule folks, you know, feel like this is a calling of mine. One to try to.
And I'm here till the Most High relieves me. So, is what it is.
King, likewise. 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 Right. My stomach started growling too. I'm chewing on these raw cashews. My wife's prepared this mix for me. It's not, we call it our homemade trail mix. It's raw cashews, raw almonds, raw pumpkin seeds, and raw unsalted peanuts. Everything unsalted. Man, I've gotten accustomed to eating it like it's candy, like it's a snack. And it's a good source of protein and other minerals and vitamins. Also, keeps your digestive regular as well. All those raw nuts, that's some really bulk fiber going through your system. We men should do a better job taking care of our colon.
Facts.
Right.
Every last one of your purifiers, your colon, your liver, your pancreas.
Yes, sir.
Them things need to stay because it's them right there, right?
Yes.
I'm gonna play with y'all on that. But what tribe is that?
Now that is a good question. You know what? When you said that, Elder,
what tribe is responsible for the purification of the whole? Look at that.
That'd be the Levites. That'd be the Levites. But Elder, that was profound what you said, Elder. Elder, if you will, could you please teach on that subject one day? Could you please teach on that subject one day? I beseech you, Elder, please teach on that subject. When you said that, I said, whoa, I ain't heard that in a long time. It's been so long, I will confess that I have forgotten which tribes align with which system in the body.
Okay.
You got to teach on that, Elder. That was profound.
Okay.
When you said that, I almost jumped out of the bunk of this truck.
He hit me with that
right
about 2 weeks ago. And it
right.
killed me. And it's another one. He said it was two tribes. One tribe is for cleansing, and the other one is for something else or whatever. And he
got to teach on it. He got to teach on it. Oh my goodness!
See, but that's where that function goes as far as understanding. If you saying that this tribe is you, right?
Right. Then what do you do in the nation?
Facts.
Yes, it's a function. It's a function. Just like this cashew, just like this raw cashew. It's a function you should perform in the nation if you're claiming that tribe, right? Right.
Ain't it funny? Ain't it funny? You see the shape of that cashew?
Yes, sir.
What system inside the body is shaped like that?
The kidneys are shaped like that.
Yes. Yes.
Let's see if I can line it back up.
Yes.
Right. That is awesome.
So that lets you know when you look at that, right? When you even if you go to research it, look at the function of the cashews and look what they offer and the benefits. You're gonna find out what they offer, what system it offers to.
Right. Right. That's why. Hey, you dropped some knowledge right there.
They hear it a lot, man. It's sad because everything is color coded. Everything is color coded. Everything that you eat is red is for your heart, your heart, your liver. You understand what I'm saying? Everything
Yes.
that you eat is yellow is for your digestive system. Everything that you eat is green. You get what I'm saying?
Mm. I love it. I
Hey,
And
love
then
it.
I'm gonna tell you what's funny though, right? When you look at those systems inside the body, they also the same color, the standards of the tribe.
I,
Every
I,
tribe
I
has every tribe has a stone,
they sure did on the ephod.
the same color as the organ in the body, and you're gonna find out exactly what its job is as a whole.
So right, every tribe had a stone on the ephod, and that
Yes,
was the color of the standard that they put in front of their camp.
it was the color of their standard that they
Yes,
had.
sir.
Understand
Yes,
what I
sir.
just said? Their standard. What function is your function?
Right. So right, and each
Everybody can't
tribe
be
performing
everybody
helped the
can't be
whole.
mad with the money. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Right. Got a point. He got a point. Everybody can't be trusted with the money. Right. That just ain't they. That's not their calling.
No, no. That's just like
Wow.
that's just like Simeon and Levi ain't got no business hanging together because they both temperamental. You feel me?
Right. So.
So
So right.
so listen, what two organs in the body are totally contrary to each other?
Now you
We
said
already know.
contrary.
We already know what the kidneys is. We say the kidneys is Levi, right? The
Right.
purification,
Right.
right? That how you say. So when you actually look at the counter, whenever your kidneys is messed up, what else is messed up?
Yeah. Your kidneys filter out your blood. So
So
once them kidneys stop filtering, right, stop filtering the urine, the waste that's suspended in the liquid in your blood, man, your skin start getting blotchy.
no, no,
Uh,
no. What I'm saying is, what is the organ that's automatically damaged once the kidneys damaged?
the liver starts to go quickly.
No, your heart.
Show right, because the heart is the pump. The kidneys
Yes,
back up. It affects the heart.
yes.
The kidneys get clogged. The heart starts to evaporating. Right, show right.
So what system does the heart belong in?
The circulation system. Right, and you're right. Once those kidneys go, because those two major arteries go down to the kidney, a whole lot of blood flow goes to those kidneys. Once those kidneys start clogging, you're right. The body starts retaining fluid, and that heart starts slowing down. You in trouble.
So what we just did now, the respiratory system is affected as well.
Yes,
So we just
yes.
described Levi and we just described Simeon.
Ah, ah.
Do you get what
Okay,
I'm saying?
okay, okay. And you're right. You had to separate them two.
And it's
Hey,
just
them
like
two.
everything that you eat,
It's gonna be friction. Them two get together. It's friction.
everything that you eat is green is for your purification system. You
Right.
understand what I'm saying? That's why the stone for Lewy is green.
Sure is. Sure is. Hey, you got to teach this, Elder. You got to do a class on this. You got to. You
Because
got to.
the physiological aspect that's inside the scrolls was given on purpose. It's like saying, I'm gonna talk about this tribe right here. This is your function, right? This is where you're gonna excel in for the whole. Everybody have. I don't. How you say we don't do this oven for ourselves.
Right.
Everybody's here to serve somebody else. Everybody.
that's how you become great. That the greatest among you be a servant,
Yes.
a minister.
Yep.
I love it.
Hey, could you guys speak uh, to the office and the corporation of a polygynous marriage? There's a lot of controversy about that, but you two guys, having the minds you have, could you break down the benefits of having it and having it properly? There's a lot of people that have it, but it's out of lust and it's improper and all that. Speak to the practical application of a polygynous marriage.
I'll say two things, right? Prerequisites and intentions, right? Prerequisites is as a man, what prerequisites have you for your household, right? What you can't give prerequisites to somebody else, or even to a woman or a potential that you yourself ain't abiding by.
Okay.
You understand what I'm saying? So on that note, right? I don't want to say that. I don't want to say no one's perfect. I don't want to say that statement because that's going to go somewhere else. But I will say, me myself, after being in a polygamous marriage for the last over 5 years, right?
Yes.
The benefits of it, right? As far as the house itself, I'm one of them. I'm one of them. When it comes down to it, I put my feelings on the back burner. You feel me?
Correct.
Economical wise, social wise, we homeschool our own kids, everything, right?
Yes.
What are the benefits of that?
They're
My daughter,
huge.
my daughter is 8 years old and she sounds like a 25-year-old nurse.
Mm.
You understand what I'm saying? But those prerequisites that you have, what are the prerequisites as a man that you have for the legacy of your household? The whole world is built on families. The whole world is
Correct.
built on nations and houses. What I'm saying is, so as a man, have you solidified that family tree um, from a righteous perspective? That's morally centered, that's modestly centered, that's integrity centered, self accountability centered. All those things have to be a part of your prerequisites when you say, okay, listen, if we wanted to say, well, as a provider, I pay the bills, right?
Right.
And everybody works though, but they pay for what they do with the homeschool and everything else. They have their own little businesses too. What they do, you understand what I'm saying?
Right.
But the
Right.
whole house benefits from everything. You get what I'm saying? The
Correct.
family benefits. This is the issue. People think that, well, if it's just because you want sex, then you might as well just go down the street and stay on the host road. Man and woman, because
I agree.
polygamy don't work that way.
Right. It ain't for you.
It's not for you. If you're not gonna be just in your assessments, if you're not gonna be balanced between your assessments between your Isha, it's not for you. If you're not gonna be a father, a husband, a brother, a friend, it's not for you.
Mm.
The base thing that sits on the top of polygamy is self accountability,
Mm.
All the way around the board.
trust,
Provide.
honesty, everything else. All of that falls up under that. Literally, if you're in a predicament where somebody has to ask you, can they trust you? Then you're already wrong. How you carry yourself done made you suspect. It's like coming inside the house and I got my phone sitting on the table. Why should I have to look at my phone with even the thought of have they been in my phone?
Right.
Then that means that you got something going on that you should have no business going on in the first place. But
Right.
as a grown man, no matter who you talk to on the phone, you should be able to talk to on the phone in front of your wife.
I agree.
You understand what I'm saying? There's no secrets in a family that shouldn't be there. There's no secrets. That's the issue that people don't. No secrets. Secrets are deceit. What are you hiding? You get what I'm saying? So when we say polygamy, the picture the picture that most people have is, ooh, I get more than one woman. In all actuality, in a house that's balanced, it's really only one woman in the house. Different expressions of it, but it's just one woman.
Mm.
At the office of a woman with different
Expressions,
job
different expressions.
descriptions
Yes,
in it. Right.
you just call each one of them expressions by a different name. You get what I'm
Mm.
saying? But it's only one woman in the house. That term. That no, everybody want to run around and say, "Well, I'm a virtuous woman," and I disagree. Why? Because if you look at the prerequisites of that Proverbs 31, she had a husband, she was married, she had kids, she had a job, everything.
Right. Servants. Right.
So the prerequisites that they got for a virtuous woman, I'm like, no,
You ain't matching up.
you might be inspiring to be that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But all of us done got a taste of Jezebel. All of us as adults, we done been there. We got warned inside the earlier Proverbs, you know what I'm saying, about the type of woman we're supposed to stay away from. But the type of man is in there too, though. All the women want to look at the Proverbs 31 woman, but they don't want to go look at that man that's in there either, though, do they?
Right.
Known at the gate.
Right.
Known at the gate, yeah.
Right.
This judge.
Right. You want listen, you just want dick. That's all you want. That's all I can put it in the closet. You want a living, breathing dildo. That's what you want.
That's what most of them want. Right.
Yes. It don't work like that. It don't work like that. But then at the same time, both men and women have misinterpreted what submissive means. They think submissive means being a slave. It has nothing to do with that, because a man is submissive to his household too. So that's a whole margin that's there. That's a whole margin that's there that's being ignored. I'm new to this polygamy thing too, and I've been in here over 5 years, and it's still new to me.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? I don't try to figure women out. That's not part of my genetic pool. You know what I'm saying? I'm not an alpha or beta male. I'm an apex male. You understand what I'm saying? So I stay away from that. So stop trying to, because you're not gonna be right. You're gonna be, how you say, every time you're right, it changes. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's certain things. It grows on you. It grows on you, and you get used to it. You know what I'm saying? It's fun. It's peaceful. You know what I'm saying? How quiet it is, it stays like that in the house. You know what I'm saying? So
right.
Well, I got a 2-year-old.
We understand that. That's acceptable.
Yeah, so he got an excuse, right?
Right. I actually miss having them that young in the house, but working on correcting that.
Thanks. And he like Bam Bam around here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I understand. I actually miss that. So, right. I actually miss that.
But I will tell a brother this though. If you're having the decisions on getting in a polygamous relationship, then you need to be able to provide for what a polygamous relationship comes with. You need to be able to. Now, if you got one wife, you can sleep in the bed with her. If you got two, everybody need their own room, including you.
Man, you just laid out two things. I have a wife that's open to religion, right? And I have another sister that's willing to come in, but I said I won't even do it until I can provide for you. And she's of the mindset she don't even want to really even live in the same house. She want to have her own house. So that
I got a problem. So hold on. Listen, that puts you in slavery though. Now, if you hit lottery, but listen, you can't protect two houses at one time.
I know.
And we've been in the same household for 6 years. I got a 6-bedroom, 3.5 bath house, right? Everybody have their own room, but everybody sleep upstairs. I sleep downstairs. You understand what I'm saying? It's not fair for the man. Let's say I ask this question. Many people talk about what the man's supposed to do for the woman, but they don't look at it the other way. No disrespect to the sisters or anything like that, but they give all these demands on what a man's supposed to do. But then so he goes to work, he pays all the bills and everything else. What do he get out of return?
Right. That's the question we asked in that guided courtship. What does the man? It's supposed to be just weights and balances. What does the husband receive?
Dowry goes both ways. No, a lot of sisters don't understand that if the marriage don't work, you're supposed to get a dowry back.
Yeah, because the exchange didn't work. Right, it's a refund.
Now, I ain't trying to be funny, but when you go inside the scrolls, those dowry was based upon virgins, right?
Exactly.
Him and her.
Right.
You don't how you say, when you go to the store, they move all the old items to the front and they sit the new items to the back, right?
Right.
But the newer items is a few pennies more.
Right.
Older items the older items on discount.
Yeah, they on clearance. We want them to go. Right, we're ready for them to get out of here. Because that expiration date getting close.
Facts.
Ooh.
Now I have a problem too, though, when it comes to not just polygamy, right? I just feel like that if you're in your bed sleep at nighttime, what does somebody else need to be in the bed with you for? While you sleep.
Mm.
You know, between 12 midnight and 6 a.m., that's your body's healing hours, right? A lot of frequencies, you don't need to have no TV on, none of that. You need to allow your body to actually heal whole on its own, right? You wake up in the morning time talking about what you dreamed about, and it ain't even your dream, it was hers.
Right. 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 The frequencies got crossed.
Right. A lot of folks ain't understanding that. But that's just like I tell any man, if you call yourself sleeping with a woman, after you sleep with a woman, before you go to bed, go wash your ass.
Mm. Makes sense. Makes sense.
If it say that you need to go cleanse yourself after having 90 missions, think about that. Why? Your frequency.
Right. It's changed.
Yes.
Right. Right. I've also read about right. About the body fluids and the pheromones as well that you inhale, and yes, you need to cleanse yourself.
From 6 o'clock a.m. to 12 p.m., your electrons inside your body are the governing force. From 12 p.m. to 6 p.m., your neutrons are the governing force. From 6 p.m. to 12 a.m., your photons are the governing force. From 12 a.m. to 6 a.m., your ions are the governing force. What else? All this, it's like a flower. You know, it says it rises in the east, sets in the west, but we're going to leave that alone. So in the morning time, right, the flower is facing toward where the sun is rising, right?
Correct. So, the east, exactly.
As the sun rises, the flower lifts up, right?
Right.
When the flower is straight up and it's opened up, it's pollinating. It's in a neutral part of the day. Now, after that change happens, right? And it starts actually going down the opposite way when the sun is setting, right? And it's closing up. So when it reaches nighttime, it's done closed up. Now, during the healing process of that, right? From 12 o'clock a.m. to 6, the flower turns around.
The direction.
Yes. How do you think the flower that went down this way in the morning time when you get there, it's laying the other way?
Mm-hmm. It orientates itself.
Your body is affected the exact same way.
Mm-hmm.
Your circadian rhythm, every 7 days, your entire body, spiritually, mentally, and physically recalibrates itself. You just call that Shabbat.
Mm-hmm.
This is the physiological. They're not telling you how you are affected by what you're doing. They're only telling you do it. If you don't know why,
they never get the purpose.
Yes, every atom inside your body responds to every thought. If you ain't thinking it, you ain't getting the full benefit. You're not getting your fringe benefit.
They're not learning this on Shabbat. They're learning about legalisms and ceremonialisms.
Yeah. If that, brother, if that. Some of them not even learning that. So at least the legalisms and the ceremonialisms do fit. They are a part of the puzzle. Some of them not learning that.
Facts.
They're not.
It's like saying we're still learning the ways of the heathens, but we're just using Hebrew words to pronounce it.
Right. Right. Some not learning that. Right. They're not learning how to apply it as we speaking now. Right. They're not learning it.
Look, check this out. I'm finna go put something in my stomach.
That's what I'm talking about, Elder. Hey, Elder,
Yeah.
this has been awesome. We need to do it again. We need to do it again.
Like I said, I'm here.
Same time next week, y'all want to do it.
I'm here. I'm
I'm,
here.
I'm Bill.
That relieves me, man.
Right,
Hey,
right. I actually have a marriage counseling call tonight at 7 that I need to
But
prepare
listen,
for.
it's funny you say that, right? Because my wife is doing that right now.
How do that's what I'm talking about.
Like saying,
That's what I'm talking about.
she talks to the sisters, I talk to the males, but when they're together, we have to do it together. You get what I'm
Right.
saying?
So we started
Right.
this about
I have
what?
a marriage counseling call at 7.
We started like 2 hours ago.
Okay.
About 2 hours ago. So if you guys are willing, we can do the same thing next week, and hopefully then we'll have Elder Sabanud on the line and any other elder who could get on the line. It could be an elders chat, You guys phone or just YouTube or
You know,
whatever.
I look at the book. I look at the book of Job, right? And the elders had a conversation, but the youth they step in too.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did.
We can get some young bulls on here too. I know a couple fellas we could bring in and they can ask questions and you guys answer and or just have the people hop in the comments and ask questions and you guys can address the questions of the people.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, thank you guys for coming on, man. I appreciate it.
Okay.
Had a couple of viewers pop in and off, and I feel like it's edifying, and I'm gonna share it all the places I can. So with that, I will give you guys leave till next week.
I say Most High be with you, and be is the best word to use. I can say kun fayakun. You know what I'm saying?
Right, right,
Be.
right. Likewise blessings. Likewise. Most High be with you and cover your houses. Love you, brothers. Can't wait to speak to you again. And good knowledge, Elder. Good knowledge share.
Okay. Likewise. I learned too. Listen, we all students. We all students.
We got to do it again. Enjoy that meal, Elder. Enjoy that meal.
Trust me, it's going down.
I will speak to you brothers later. Shalom, shalom.
Shalom, Elder. All right, you guys been tuned in to another chop up with the elders. Hopefully next week. Like this and share this. Tag your brothers and sisters in it. Until next time, we say 12 tribes, one nation.